All right, all right, all right. Gold morning, gold afternoon, gold evening sa lahat. This is Jed Villardo of Team eToro Pilipinas, and today I'm here streaming live um, in the Billionaires Club. Thank you, and shout out to Lloyd Bazaar for letting me stream here on his channel. Kamusta kayong lahat, guys? Gold morning, again evening, and afternoon. Okay. Shout out to Lloyd Bazaar and to all ka-team Toro Pilipinas. All right. So, good morning again. So, today, like the title says dito sa live stream natin, today we'll be doing actual day trading, right? As you can see, here's my eToro account. Um, like I said earlier, I'm Jed Fajardo, and I am one of the admins sa Team eToro Pilipinas. And we call it Team eToro Pilipinas is because we are mainly trading in the eToro platform, day trading to be specific, most of us. Although marami ding mga members na are long-term investors or position traders, different kinds of traders, right? Ang daming type of traders and marami ding veterans from PSE who already switched full-time trading in the global market through eToro. So eToro is probably the best online broker that I've used so far. Very, very user friendly, and we have, you know, the best, probably the best support team that you could ever ask, right? With Team eToro Pilipinas, and also in eToro directly. Okay, so setting the expectations. Let me set the expectations first. Para walang masyadong confusion. If you are new to day trading, right, this could probably uh, more confusing for you, especially for the total newbies, right? But I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Iwasan natin yung mga jargons, or trading jargons, or yung mga medyo complicated na mga terminologies. Right? That's one thing. I'll try my best. I promise. We will try. And let's see. And just to make sure, also moving forward, can you guys hear me? Okay. Let me try to make sure you guys could hear me. Okay. Give me a second. How about this? Mic test. Mic test. Yeah, didn't saw the feedback sa chat. My bad. My bad. How about this right now? Can you hear me? All right, mga kalaksa, mga ka eToro, fellow day traders, investors. Is that better? All right, all right. My apologies. Ayan, ayan. Ayun, all right. Thank you, Glenn. My fellow admins sa Team eToro Pilipinas. Shout out to Glenn, Banksky, and Lloyd for pointing that out. I'm sorry. I'm so used to using my headset because I was like moving to a new office setup, so I was busy for the past few weeks setting up my new office. Right, um, my camera setup is not ready yet, but soon in the next episodes. This is, by the way, my episode 14, so day trading, and I will definitely show the new office setup once it's done. Right, so now I'm using my usual mic, and I totally forgot to fine tune it. But thank you, thank you. All right, let me go back. So yeah, first is I will try my best to avoid using jargons while we explain how we do things, right? Um, in our day trading setup, from top to bottom, basically. So I'll show you everything, at least the basic setup, para hindi naman siya masyadong mahirap for for our newbies, right? With day trading. Um, I have met a lot of veteran traders in PSE, our local exchange, Philippine Stock Exchange, and hindi siya madali yung transition, right? So it will take time. So I 100% know na it could take time, and the learning curve could be different for depending sa tao, right? Because we are wired differently. So that's a big thing. So I'll make sure, less jargons and all, super clear. We'll try as simple as possible. So I'll also show my setup, my charting setup, these setups, right? My strategy, the indicators, the basic ones that I use. As you can see, if you are like a veteran and you've started researching and studying trading, you'd notice my setup here is very simple. Right? I know if untrained yung eyes, like first day trading or first week pa nyo sa trading or learning about it or studying about it, you probably watch videos, right? Or read a book, or seen screenshots posted online, di ba? And most of the time, ang daming indicators, right? Ang daming linya doon, linya dito, right? Medyo confusing, right? But mine, I keep it as simple as possible. So I'll show you guys that, right? And I'll discuss a bit about it. So set number two is I will also talk about how I read signals by using trend and analysis, right? Number three is I'll talk about also why you know as part of the discussions of strategy natin, why we are doing that and why we're looking only at the short time frames, right? And lastly, but well, not last, but second to last, number four is that I'll show you, and set examples and how, hard it can be and how easy it can be to be a day trader, right? With the current settings, because that's how trading works, right? Every day, every moment, it's evolving, it's changing, right? That's the one of the challenges that we face every day kasi nagbabago yung system. Nag-adjust, nag-evolve them. The moment that we improve our strategy and we feel like it's perfect, yeah, one of these days you get that moment everything's not working. Yeah, why? So we have that big why. And thankfully, we have the Team eToro Pilipinas group, which is growing exponentially for the past 3 months. Um, we're almost right now around 3,000 strong, right? Very, very strong and active community. And I'm happy to have and be a part of the admin team, moderating and organizing the team eToro. If you are not part of that group yet, search its Facebook accounts, and just type in Team eToro Pilipinas, right? And send an application or request because it's a private group, right? We try to keep it filtered and make sure na mga legit na tao lang andon, right? Hindi mga yung PM is key, right? Wala mga ganon. All right. And last but not least, of course, as promised by Lloyd and me earlier, we'll be doing live trading, right? And just again, heads up, na not every day, right? Not every day like this right here, right now. This is my live account or one of my accounts, public accounts in eToro. That's my username up there here, and there's a part here. My username said HR, right? And this actually means high risk, right? This is a high risk, high returns account. If you read the bio here, yeah, it's very simple, right? The premise here is that sometimes, like here, kita yung red, right? I'll show you my portfolio or the stats. Right, August when we started,
I got FOMO, right? I got FOMO, and FOMO happens to everyone. Nobody is safe from it, right? That's because that's how we are. Tao pa naman ako, right? Hindi pa ako robot, right? So I can't easily turn off my emotions. And if you've been trading or trying to study trading for the past 3 months, you'd know by now why is it hard, right? Because that's human nature. You know, hard coded na tayo sa DNA natin. However, what we can do on the other side of the coin is obviously is to recover. So as you can see, what I lost, I already recovered that halfway through, or actually in our first 10 days dito sa September. Right? You'd see that we go back to my portfolio, click history up here, and for the past 7 days, I have you know, consistently been gaining and recovering our losses. Right? There was one day dito is a I intentionally cut my loss, right? Because it's you know it was out of my checklist, right, as our strategy. So now we'll discuss that also later on. Alrighty. So claro ra, right? Everything's clear. All right. Um, Before we proceed, I will try to reply yung mga queries sa chat. I'll try my best. Right, not hindi pa tayo robot, right? So I'll try my best. Yeah, gold morning, Estela Sanchez. Gold morning. Um, Here we go. Hello there sa mga taga KSA. Gold morning. Ems. Yeah, dami nating members actually from KSA. Welcome, welcome. Also, shout out to Glenn Desoyo, our basically representative dun sa Singapore. Gold morning also. And Telay, pwede po ba mag-deposit sa HR? Not yet. All right. So I'll also introduce to you guys, briefly, because we have a very simple experiment, right, within the group, and you might find it interesting later on. So to answer that, like, quickly right now, not yet, right? We're still working on lowering our risk here, right? And we just started today, so this could take time because this is a high risk account, right? This account is actually also ranked right now sa monthly eToro competition, which is surprising and amazing. Yeah, let's see. Here we go. eToro trading challenge, right? There's a trading challenge by the way, month over month, which is amazing, right? So right now, the top 10 are just going on crazy. They're just like really, really full high risk. But if I quickly search for my username, we're still here, right? There we go. We're actually number 43 in the overall ranking. And that's my username, right? It's reflecting our overall running gains for September. And we go back, that's 43.85. That's 43.85. We're in number 43. And I don't know. We'll never know if we could make it to the top 10. But if we can, we'll just accept it, right? So although I'm not confident enough na we'll make it, just purely because right now, going back to that experiment dito sa September, right now this month, about this account, right? Because if you notice, it's high risk, but look at the copiers that we have, right? Or actually, even before, we have over 60 copiers here, and that's a part of a big, exciting experiment that we did within the group. Um, and I'll share that later on also, right? All right, so, exciting stuff. Okay, so a little psychological and um, high risk, high returns experiment, right? Of course, with all the due diligence and reminders and about your capital is at risk always, always. Shout out to Winston from Batangas, one of our long-time active veteran trader also. All right. Here we go. Let me scroll down. Um, Bagito, Bagito and sexing the thing. Thank you. All right. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, natulog kasi ako to prepare, right? Kasi sinabihan ako ni Lloyd na prepare. So I slept and make sure na I'm ready. Let's see. Also, our by the way, our links of our accounts are actually in our descriptions of dito sa stream. So you could just look at the description sa video. When I will post this YouTube later for recording, um, it will also be there sa description. So I have my ang tawag dito, my low risk and high risk accounts linked in the description sa post sa live stream na to. And if you haven't created an account sa eToro, right? Because I know the Billionaires Club is um, over 20,000, all right, members, 25 actually, almost 26,000 members, and I'm almost certain na hindi lahat merong eToro account, right? So if you want to join us with this experiment, if you want to join and learn how to day trade in the global market, which is very liquid and very volatile, yes, volatility is where the money is, right? Where your technical analysis will really work most of the time, right? At least in my profile, as you can see, to be specific, 97.30% of the time it works, right? This because this is pure technical analysis here, and I'll show you how I do it also. So please use our link on the description. There's an open an eToro account link there. Just click it and let us know and join our group, and we'll be happy to help you. Um, at least where to find and how to learn it, uh, you know, on your own time, on your own pace. All right. Okay, dokie. Let's see. Ano pa yung mga comments natin dito? All right. AR Plata, shout out from Canada, and Gold Morning. Yeah. Okay. So first thing that I'm gonna talk about today, we're done with the expectations, right? And you know, yung konting advertisement natin. First thing is chart setup and indicators. Let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about chart setup and indicators. Right. So first is let's go here. Let's use a Toro default platform here. So this is gold. The reason why I have been repeating kanina, recently gold morning, gold afternoon, because I love gold. Like I love to trade gold, right? Aside from I love the actual gold, or I like to have one. um, I like the gold commodity. All right, and there's a lot of reason around behind that. Probably the main one is it's just very volatile, right? The volatility and the volume of gold is for me. It's just the right amount of right mix, right? The ingredients just right. I've been trading gold for I don't know almost 2 years now, running 2 years, and ever since I started trading and I developed my very own simple strategy and checklist here or a trading system around it. I have never doubted my strategy, right? And I've been mastering it, and I probably will still be mastering it because, like I said earlier, continuous evolution kasi yan nag-evolve yung trading, right? Every time, every day. So gold is again one of my best instrument that I use, especially in eToro, right? So here, so charting, right? You go here, it's either you search for gold like I did earlier, say Toro, on top, I type gold. Just like how Facebook works, right? Because I use Facebook, may remember there's a search box sorry, on top. And eToro is basically designed, and that's why it's called the social trading platform. Because it's basically, it looks like, it feels like a Facebook account, right? So if you notice, there's a profile picture up there, upper left, and this is basically the instrument page, right? And look at here. Oh, parang Facebook wall lang, right? So it just feels like and looks like Facebook or your typical um, social trading platform or social platform, right? Um, Whatever you fancy, right? So going back, so charting and indicators, right? So here first, I'll show you the for eToro, we actually have, obviously we should have, all of the brokers should have their own charting and indicators. So for gold, for any actually stock or instrument, you just go to their actual page, right? You could also go here, some markets, right? Trade markets, and then look for it, right? It should be under commodities, di ba? Andito siya, right? There we go, gold, and I click it, right? I go back to the same page, right? That's why it's here, upper left also, markets, commodities, and then the gold CFD. And then we're here. After that, there should be at least three tabs, at least today, because like I said, an eToro is a fintech or a finance technology based company, and they're also developing tools every day, right? So there could be more tabs here. So right now there should be three, and the third one should, and you should look for the chart, right? Let me go to the chart, and you should see the actual chart here. My setup here before is again simple, right? Um, just the lines, um, and then below is the stochastic stock. I call it stock, or we call it stock for short, and then the MACD, right? Okay, that's it. That's basically it, right? um, Now, if you want to go like pro or advanced mode, this is the basic view, right? And this is the 1 minute, right, by default, right? That's why it's moving every minute. I could expand that using this, what you call it, expand, I guess, expand icon, right? Just below the trade button. If you click that, it will go to like semi full screen, and you'll see a more expanded version of it, right? And then with options in the upper right. So right now, um, you'll have the option to change the time frames from 1 minute to 1 minute, etc. And then the type of bars, right? And I like to use the mountain here, right? And then you could add indicators also, or settings, right? Whatever you fancy, or even change the time zone, right? If you want to follow a specific time zone. However, there is also a much more advanced version of it, and then you click on the gear icon, I guess, or the cookie icon is what I call it most of the time. Ito yun. Upper right still, and cookie icon, right? And then hover your mouse. Don't click it yet. Hover your mouse, and then just click Launch Pro Charts. And this is the pro or advanced version of uh, eToro Pro Charts, or eToro charting, right? It's good. It's good, right? You could actually even set up layouts, right, and save it, right? So I have here the Gold 6, which I set up way back August, pa. Or at least I updated way back August. And as you can see, it's just the same thing. It's a 6 setup chart or a 4 setup chart, to be more specific, because um, I look at short time frames, right? So I'll start um, discussing it here dito sa pro charts, right? However, I will also show you the more colorful one earlier, which is the Trading View platform, which uh, our group in Team eToro Pilipinas is mostly using right now. So, all right, let's see. Nawala ba yung sound? Can the other guys still hear me? Just want to make sure. Sinabi ni Lucky Touch or Lucky Talk. Yeah. Alrighty. Can you guys hear me? Just making sure. All right, good. All right, let me go back. So Team eToro, eToro Pro charts, right? So eToro Pro charts and the gold charting here. So let me start with the one. Let me expand that. There we go. Amazing, right? Expanding. And like I said, first one, the big one part top is we're gonna first choose what type of chart that we're gonna look at. you could either use line or mountain, right? I use mountain. I like it. Just simply because it will highlight, and I'm also colorblind, right? So it helps a lot with the basic colors, right? It helps me um, identify the baseline somewhat. At least it helps me like that. Sometimes I switch to hollow candles or candles, right? And sometimes bars also, right? But most of the time it's just either the line or the mountain, right? So for now, I'll choose line para mas madali siya tignan sa the screen. Let's see. All right. Okay, and after that, the stock, right? So the stock or a stochastic indicator. So where to add that? So you could actually still click on the same button there, and then go dito sa studies. There's studies one and studies two. This is how they group or categorize their indicators, right? Stochastic should be in the studies two, I believe. There we go. Stochastics, momentum index, and meron ding stochastic. So right now I'm just using the stochastics here, and I'm using the default settings too. Right? You could tweak it a bit, but that's the thing. I don't know, but the settings box sometimes doesn't pop up for me. It's a pro charts. All right, stochastics basic setup. All right, standard setup, and then after that you choose MACD. Right, MACD I believe should be in the studies one. MACD, or is it still in the studies two? Ah, yeah, right. So MACD, there we go, one at the top, and same setting, standard settings, right? That's it. So all I did is set up that, right? So since I want to see a continuous time frame, it's part of our strategy. I'll discuss that a bit. Um, and this is basically the core setup of my charting and indicator, right? Following me so far? So from the top again, the chart type is basically either line or mountain, chart type, and I'm just showing you my setup, right? My setup, just my setup, um, and very basic setup. And then after that, stochastic, and then MACD, all standard setup or settings. That's it. After that, all I'm gonna do is just multiply that to 6. All right. If you look at it, it's just the same. Let's see. All right, I think we got disconnected for a bit there. All right, I'm back. Okay, here we go. Perfect. I have it on another tab. All right, let's see. All right. Oh, I'm sorry about the ads. Yeah. Okay. Let me put that down. My bad. All right. There we go. That should be better. There we go. Okay. Actually, there's nothing. It's blocking there, at all. Because the reason why I put the ads in the lower left or reminders actually. So stream ko. I usually stream at Twitch at my Twitch channel, right? Or it's a eToro private group page. And the reason why I put that there in the lower left is because it's not blocking anything that important. Bottom line, you're not missing anything there, right? If I switch to my actual account, all you see are settings and window, yung mga help guides and the log out button on lower left. Most of the time, the important stuff is just right here in the sweet spot, um, sa top, right? All right, so don't worry about that. Let's see. Okay, all right. Let me go back and resume. All right, so pro charts here. So like I did earlier, gawa kayo ng isang design, like this one. Um, you could actually, when you go here sa Pro Charts, right, you'll start with one here. The display layout is default, this one. After that, you switch it to whatever number of charts that you like. In my setup, it's going to be ideally the sixth one, right, the last one. So if you switch it there, it will load, and it will give you six or five more mini charts, right, like this one, compressed one. And all you have to do is apply and tick this box as one symbol for all charts, and it will copy everything there, right? And that's it. After that, all you have to do is make sure, of course, to save the layout. Save it first, just in case if mag-brown out or mag-shutdown yung PC nyo bigla. And then after that, make sure, of course, to change your time frames, right? Time frames. There we go. Change the time frames. So from 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 30, and 1 hour. So my charting basically is focused on every 5 minutes uh, time frame, right? So we play at the short time frames, 5 minutes to maximum of 1 hour. And I'll discuss that later on. More about it, why we're just looking at these time frames. All right. So this is it. This is basically the setup in ProCharts. However, what I'm using most of the time is the trading view. Right. The trading view is basically, if you're a big fan of, if you are coming from PSE, um, you're probably also familiar with other other charting services, right? But this one I like so much, right? Because the ease, flexibility ng charting and indicator features niya, very rich and very easy to use, very flexible also. And then on top of that, the best one is, as you noticed here, if you look back, the settings here, launch ko projects on that. We don't have volume in eToro Pro Charts, right? Because simply, wala talagang yung volume yung CFD. And CFD, if you are not familiar with that, please Google it, utilize our search engine, and read about it, learn about it, right? CFD is basically, the one of the main reason why we're able to do this here sa eToro, right? And let me go back, wala siyang volume indicator here, right? You can't add it, period. Maybe soon they could probably add that, but right now there is nothing here that will give you the volume, right, indicator. And in my strategy, it is crucial and critical to see the volume, right? That's one of my checklist sa strategy natin. So volume, and volatility, right? Because like I said earlier, andun yung pera, right? Volatility is where the money is. And I know sa PSE, medyo, if you're still starting to study it, nakakatakot yung volume sometimes, because it could go to the other, side, or the opposite side, and that means bye-bye, right? Or ipet, right? Naiipit tayo sa trade natin. But that's completely different here. In our strategy, we actually like volatility and volume, right? And that's why this is the main reason why I'm using trading view, right? Because we could see the volume here. This is the volume here down below here. So let me show you, or show you the setup here real quick, right? So as like I showed you earlier, so Pro Charts, so eToro Pro Charts is the same thing, same concept I used here. Let me close that one. That was actually earlier target natin. Actually, let me just leave that there para ma-discuss ko sa inyo how it actually works. Right, okay, so here from the top, diba? Charting. So we used here our indicator, our bar style is the bar style right here. And then after that, same thing, stochastic, stock down here, and then MACD. Okay. Same stuff, standard settings. Didn't change anything. Right. Let me drink some water. All right, and then I just repeat that same thing I did sa pro charts, right? I repeat that in different time frames, and the only difference is that the time frames, right? Here, this is 1 minute. You see here, right? This is the formatting. It's a trading view, the name of the instrument, and then the exchange, TVC, and then here this number represents 1 minute, right? 1 minute, and lower left is 5 minutes, 15. Same exact thing that I did earlier. See, it's just that this is like in one screen, right? And this one is by four charts, or I call it 4C, right? 4C. Um, and then I repeat that in my swing time frames, right? This is my actual, core trading time frames, the first 15 minutes. And then I compress that and using the same formula and setup in indicators, right? But this time the time frames is every 15 minutes, right? So 30, 45, starting in the 30, right? And then 45 and then 60. Our swing time frame. All right, remember that, right? Trading, day trading, right? Day trading, core time frame, and then swing time frame. All right. Okay. So, following so far, ito yung chart setups natin and indicators. All right. If you have questions, don't hesitate to post it sa chat again, right? Feel free to post it, and I'll look at it from time to time. All right. So, let's see. All right, next one. Next up. So okay, I get the chart setup, Jed, and the indicators. It's pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. I like it. Yeah. Sabi nga ng mga taga Team eToro Pilipinas when I first started my stream, right? Or episode 1, the setup is very simple, right? KISS, right? KISS, keep it simple, keep it short and simple. And I like that idea because I fancy myself to be a a simpleton, right? Simplistic, kumbaga, right? I try to be that, and I enjoy, right, the concept, right, and I like the culture that is, or focus on that, right, which is Japan, right? I like the Japanese culture, and I'm applying that here also because this is me. This is my profile, right? And this is my preference. The reason why I pointed that out or I brought that up is that because when you're trading, wherever you are, trading, right? Actual barter trade, buy and sell. When you buy something and then you exchange your fiat, right, or your paper money, diba? In our case, it's Filipino peso, right? You buy something like I'm gonna buy a toothbrush, right? This is my money. That's your product. An exchange, right? That's a trade right there, literally, right? Here in the global market in eToro, or even in PSE, we're trading. Yeah, virtual digital currency, all the time, every day. We're not actually trading actual paper money anymore. Yeah, we did deposit some at some point, but let's face the truth, right? It's all digital, right? This is online, diba? And we're empowered to be able to do it, which is amazing, right? Welcome to the 21st or 22nd century, right? This is amazing. This is an exciting, millennia to be alive, right? And to be a trader, and I love it, right? So the reason again that I brought that up is because when you build your strategy, hopefully very soon, right? When you start going to that path, because you will definitely, if you are serious and you plan na maging day trader or investor, or if you are really eager to learn about how trading works, you'll definitely have your own checklist, your own strategy, right? That is crucial and critical. You can't be a successful trader, you can't be consistent if you don't follow a set of rules, right? Strategy or trading system is what the others call it. I just call it simply strategy, trading strategy. Diba? And part of your trading strategy is your personality, your preference, right? The way you think, ano yung mga gusto mo, right? And for me, I keep it simple, right? For others, they like, a lot of tawag nito, like linya, mga indicators. Like, ang daming indicators. You could add, oh my God, over 100 indicators. I mean, you could choose. If dito sa, tawag nito, sa pro charts, there's two groups here, studies 1, studies 2. In TradingView, oh my God, there's a lot. See? There's even a public library where others actually share their own designs, right? Their own indicators, what they prefer. You could also do the same publicly, right? So there's are the built-ins, ang dami, and my favorites are just these guys here because this is what I use from time to time. All right, all right, okay. So next up, all right, we're getting closer sa sa, sa live day trading natin. Oh, there's a question. Gold morning. Your trading view is pro version? Yes, it is. It is a pro version. Here's the thing about trading view. It's for free. You can actually use it for free. However, if you want to see, uh, seconds, right? Like this one right here. This is actually real time seconds movement, right? And I will discuss later on why it's important for me. Is you have to have a pro version of the account, right? And that's one of the biggest reason why I opt for a pro version, right? Aside from the fact that you could also lay out your charting like this, right? Multiple charts. You could only do this in a pro version, right? If you are using a free version, the only option that I could think of is multiple tabs like this, right? Multiple tabs, tapos open yung multiple tabs, or if you are if you have a bigger screen, you could do it like this, right? Diba? Multi-window, kumbaga. Right? Yan, ganyan. You could do it like this. Diba? I used to do it like that. Ayan, tapos lagay ka dito another time frame dito sa baba, mimicking like what my setup is right now. Diba? So let me put that back and maximize it. There we go. All right. 4 charts. All right, we're back. Okay, so moving forward. All right, next one. Here, finally, how to basic read basically the trends and analysis. So basically, our signal of when to trade, right? So first things first is let me address the question about why short time frames, right? So the way I see the global or even the PSE, right, the global market is one big chunk of emotions, right? Just one big chaotic of emotion. The here, for example, Lita. 1 second, right? This bar here represents, right? This bar here represents the movement of the emotions ng buyers and sellers, right? Every time there's a buy signal, right? Ayan, nagbabuy siya. It looks like it's a trending up buy signal here, right? Or long. That's basically a lot of people thinking that it's gonna go up, right? Emotional, like this is pure based on emotion, because at the end of the day, there's no such thing as perfect trade, right? Um, Not all the time, right? Although our history in my high risk shows recently differently, but partly of that is luck also, right? And the main reason why we like to trade in a short time frame is purely because of that, because of these reason, right? Kasi emotional yung trading. And I'd like to use as much as possible my technical analysis, right? Because when you're looking at technical analysis, it's logical, di ba? Trends and analysis and patterns, mga ganon. We just have a checklist and that's it. We trust it and we sit and pray. After that, it goes our way, di ba? That's the bottom line of it. So here, short time frames. That's why we look at short time frames, because if you're trading at short time frames, my friends, investors and copy traders out there, and soon to be one, the fundamental analysis is very minimal, right? It's not completely out of the picture, however, very minimal, right? 80 to 90% of the time, when you're trading at short time frames, it's purely technical analysis, And this is based on experience and in my honest opinion, right? For the past 3, 4 years that I've been trading in the global market, right? So that's it. Yeah, that's the main reason why we're trading at the short time frames, right? Because if you're trading at here at the day, all right, day time frames, ito, you won't know what will happen midday, right? It's what we call the intraday, sometimes intraday trading, right? When you're a swing trader or a position trader, when you look at the day time frames, right? You're usually gonna set your positions with lower leverage or most of the time nothing at all, diba? Because you want to make sure you don't get hit with your SL right away when it drops, right? When this kind of drop happens, like look at this drop here, negative 33 points. All right, that was September 5. All right, let that marinate for a few seconds, right? That's September 5. Look at below, you can see the dates here below such chart natin. This is the time frame. And I just hover my mouse over this day or this bar or can here, this bar here. You see the date September 5, and this is basically the day trading, right? It opened, if you could see here the details on top, upper left, next to the labels natin sa instrument and the time frame and our exchange. I hover that again, my mouse there. You'd see the opening. It opened at 152, right? Or let's, I usually use the tens, right? So 52s, 52, 51, and then the highest point went as far as just 53, 1 point, right? And then lowest point is 06. Oh my god, right? That's oh my god, that's over 40 points, right? Drop. Yeah. Again, 40 points drop on that day alone. And then it closed 18.73. So closing with a 33 drop points. That, my friend, is what we call a whip, right? At some point, if we go back to that day, right? Let's go back and then let's look at the 1 minute, actually 30 minutes para mas madali tingnan. September 5, right? Let's look back here. Actually, we're gonna use it here para mas madali tingnan. 15 minutes. Let's go 15 minutes and then we look at September 5, right? September 5. Let's go back, so back, go back, so back. There we go. September 5. All right. Look at that drop. Let me zoom in. Let's hide that. Look at that. Ayan. Oh my god. If you have, or if you're thinking, like usually, if it drops, sometimes there's like a rebound, right? Like this one. It drop, goes up. That's just how market works, right? Any instrument. But of course, me as a day trader, sa gold for a long time, it has a more specific trend and pattern, right? You will see it the more that you trade, right? Let me hide the other indicators para mas madali. All right. Ayan. So look at the drop there. That big drop there, my friend, nobody is safe there, right? And when that happened, right? Look at that. It started here 43 and then it went as far as 05, right? 1505. And if you have a buy signal because you were hoping na tataas siya dito. If you're not using technical analysis at all, if you're a newbie na FOMO kasi everybody is spamming the social media, or your friends are like, oh, I'm buying and I'm gaining, right? Oh, might as well just buy also, di ba? Mag-buy din ako. Alright. And nag-buy and kaboom, nahuli sa whip, right? The big drop or the big, that's how I call it, the slide also, di ba? That's why the volume is very useful here, is because you can see it, right? It manifests here, right? Makikita nyo, grami yung bears, right? The bear attack, right? Ayun, nag-drop siya. That's why I like short time frames, because on the 15-minute time frame, right? Nakikita nyo yung trend, right? It was actually going that, right? If you use your technical analysis, nagiging obvious yung pattern niya, right? Diba? Ayan. All right. Let me go back to my day. Kasi I use the day view also to just make sure if we are on the swing time frames na. Okay. All right. Moving on. Um, so yeah, trend and analysis, right? So here's how I read basically, and how I execute on when I execute my trade. All right. Are you guys ready? Right. Very simple. Right. First is my checklist.